שלום לכולכם. היום נמצא איתי אורח נכבד, מריו רוקו, שהוא עכשיו רוצה להיות המר של ואן. כמובן שאנחנו נעשה את האינטרוויו שלנו באנגלית, אז בואו ונתחיל. How are you, first of all?
Well, thank you. Thank you for inviting me to be here.
No problem. I mean, I already introduced you in Hebrew, so I'll introduce you in English. Welcome, Mario Racco.
Thank you.
I think my first question would be, why do you want to be the mayor of Vaughan?
Well, it's a leadership position. Being the mayor of Vaughan means that you are representing the entire city as their municipal leader.
Yeah.
It's a very important position. It's quite powerful. It allows me, quite frankly, to make changes that I have been wanting to make changes. And in particular now, with all the controversies that we have, it's more than ever more important to be mayor of Vaughan today than ever. I really didn't want to be a mayor. There has been other opportunity in the past where there was a number of people who did ask me to run for mayor, and I said, no, I have other things in my mind. I want to go somewhere else. But I must say things have changed in the last 4 years. In the last 6, 7, 8 years, things have really changed. And so I will ask the people of Vaughan, do you want me to be your mayor?
Good question. What's your vision for Vaughan?
I see a city which is energetic. It's a very well-to-do city. You know, the makeup of the city is quite an interesting mix. The quality of people, of course, quality of people in Ontario, they're all good, very good quality. But I must say this, in Vaughan, when you look at the statistics, which are things important to me in many cases, we have an incredible community which is connected, not just in Vaughan or the GTA, but Ontario, Canada, and the world. We have people who have among the highest education in Canada. And Canada is one of the better communities. We have people who, certainly we have people who are on welfare, we have people unemployed, but we have people when you look at the income level, which is an incredibly high, high profession, well-to-do. We have potential which, quite frankly, are second to none, and yet we have a municipality that hasn't been able to even perform reasonably.
So what are you going to do as mayor? What are you going to change? What are you going to do to make Vaughan better?
Well, there's 2 things that I suggested a few days ago when I launched the campaign, but of course I'm looking potentially to improve into those 3 areas, because as I speak to people, I like to believe that there is other things that people will bring up, and I will see merits and pursue them. But the first thing that I want to address is the traffic gridlock. We are in a mess. As you know, you live next door to us. So if you try to come here, you know how much time it takes you from your house. If you go downtown, an hour to go and an hour to come back is the norm. It isn't acceptable.
Yeah, basically, I mean, it's grown, but the roads have not grown.
That's one of the problems. The other problem, and that's probably the biggest one, that the sides of the roads and the way the roads have been built have not really responded to the needs.
To the growth,
And the people have spoken on that matter, and I think we have to stop relying on those professional reports that keep on saying that's what you need, that is really what's necessary, and in fact, look with their own eyes.
So you're going to listen to the people?
I always did.
Okay.
Now, it doesn't mean that I can agree with 100% of the people. Otherwise, you can't. No, but what's important, though, is that you do listen to them, to the people, and then try to do what you believe, what you deem to be the best for the people. When you do that, even if you don't everybody agree with you, the majority will, and I think that's really a good way to proceed. But the roads are one factor. The other factor is the lighting system. It's hard to believe in today's age that we still don't have the highest standards in our road system, so that the synchronization of the lighting system that can make a difference, it's not doing such a job as we expect. So that's another area of importance. And don't forget the public transportation system. Now, you and I, we will have difficulty getting into the bus daily because we've been accustomed to driving, and reality is what we should look at. But if we plan my kids, which are young and they're growing, they don't want to wait for me every day to bring them somewhere. They may want to go and see their friends, or they may want to go to the gym, they may want to go to the library, they may want to go somewhere, and they don't want to wait for me or their mother or someone who can drive them around. We must start working a little better in the public transportation system. So those people who choose public transportation...
How are we going to, how, give me an idea, what are you talking about, improvement?
We are probably the best municipality of South Toronto. I was able, after a number of years of planning, to bring the subway, the Spadina York subway extension to Vaughan. This is my project. I started about 18 years ago, in the year 2000, about 10 years ago. I was able to put a committee, what I call a lobbying committee, that was made up of not just the city of Vaughan, but the region of York, the city of Toronto, the city of Barrie, all the way to Barrie, and the city of Brampton, and a couple local unions, and York University, which is one of the single biggest beneficiary of the subway, because they have the biggest parking lot in the GTA. York University is an incredible place where it's
the city on its own,
Exactly. And so what we did, we lobbied, and we were able to basically get things moving, starting the year 2000. In 2003, when I was elected, one of the first things that we did, quite frankly, was to approve the extension of the subway. That was done in 2006, in March 2006.
So we have it till Shepherd now.
Yes, right. Well, if you look at the one, it's Shepherd, you're right, and Dufferin, Allen Expressway. This line has already been approved. The money have already been allocated by the province in 2006. We expect it to be completed in 2015, but work already started.
So how far is it going to go?
It's going to go all the way to Jane and 7. It's going to be just west of Jane. So we're going to have an incredible line, and there will be 6 additional stops, 3 in Toronto, 3 in Vaughan. It will go through York University. So all that will change our transportation system, because what that means is that you and I now, if we wish to go downtown, we could easily go and pick up the subway on Jane and 7 area, and leave the car in where we can, and of course go all the way downtown without spending an hour, quite frankly, in traffic gridlock. But that's not all.
That's a good thing.
It's one of the biggest projects ever, by the way.
For all of us.
This is
not just for Vaughan, for
exactly.
all of us.
The GTA will benefit. It's a 2.6, give or take, billion dollars until the last tender comes in. We don't know, but those are gross number. This is an incredible.
Usually come a lot higher.
Yeah, well, they do, but I think
the budget always changes.
We put some cushions there, or at least I think we did. We'll find out. It is important on a number of areas, but do not forget that the subway is going to bring an incredible growth in revenue for the city, the region, the school boards, because that means that we will be able to have more assessment, basically, more offices, more businesses, and we will create a center. You live in the region of York, and you know that we don't have a really center within the region of York. Forget about Vaughan or Richmond Hill or Markham. We have a little center here and there, but there's nothing big that we identify with. We are trying to do that exactly there in the city of Vaughan, where the subway is going to be. It's called the Metropolitan Center. We are working on it, even I, as a member of the committee. We really want to do something special. And again, this is my little baby, if I can use that word. I started so many years ago, and I was happy to see developing. And of course, when I was at Queen's Park, I was able to get the $670 million given already in 2006 by the province to Toronto and the region of York, because together they're building this extension.